Alright, my name is Jeremy Bullington with Greenway Equipment. Today I'm going to talk to you about using Seedstar XP on a 2630 display. You'll see this tractor is also equipped with a 4600, but for this video we're actually just going to talk about running it through the 2630. So the way we would get to this screen is once the planner has loaded through our menu button, we're going to see planner loads up on the 2630 under our menu. So we simply press planner, which brings up our planner page. So the first thing you see when you pull up the planner page is going to be our population. So what we're going to see here is a complete set of red lines. So the red lines show that we're not planning as it is right now. So we're actually planning below our target rate, which is listed up here. Now, if we were planning over rate, these bars would go above the line. So when we're in the field, what we're actually looking for is for really short black lines that are going to sit right here at the right here in this midline. And you're going to see this is, like, again, is overpopulation or underpopulation, which kind of gives us a pretty good idea of what our population screen looks like. The other thing we need to look at is up here at the top. This is going to be our target population. So to change our target population, we simply touch it, change it to rate 1. We can touch it again and change it down to rate 2. So to change that actual planter population, we would actually touch that rate and swap to the different rates. Now, what we're going to see on the right side of the screen is our plant population. So what we're going to see now, since we're not in motion, we're going to see these rates are all 0. When we hit it twice, the other thing we're going to see is we have populations by individual variable rate motors. Most of the time that 0 is going to give us the sum of each motor totals. So it's going to give us a good average, which is what most people are going to use. Underneath our planner, we're going to see our vacuum. So we're going to see our vacuum listed here. We also have the ability to change the second number to be our total screen or be our miles per hour. For all intent and purposes, we're going to leave it on vacuum. You notice that there are 2 numbers. Those are going to be our 2 different vacuum sensors that are actually on the planner. So again, if we want to get back to this screen at any point in time, if we get somewhere else, we simply touch the seed / with the field, and it's going to bring us right back here. One other thing to remember on this screen is the arrows pointing to the right and to the left. These simply turn the individual planner sections on and off, and you can use the arrows to turn them on and off depending on which way you want to go. Your other option is simply enable all, and that will turn them all back on. So you've got different ways to turn those sections on and off according to what your needs are in the field. Next touch, this is going to be our clutch position. This is going to show that our clutch is in the open position. Once the units are down and the clutches are engaged, you're going to see that symbol change. So back down on the bottom left-hand corner, the next thing we're going to see is our singulation screen. So across the top, again, ideally with the Seedstar XP screen, is what we want to see is we want to see everything existing right on this center line. Anything above is going to be planting doubles. Anything below is going to be planting skips or singles. So one of the things we're going to look at down here at the bottom is our percent singulation. It's going to give us our percent skips and our percent multiples. Over here, it's actually going to give us the exact same thing on the high side for each, and it's going to also tell us what row is on the high side. What really important thing, if we're looking to tune individual rows, we know which rows to go look at, and from those rows, we can actually go to the rear of the machine and make an adjustment to fix our singulation issues. The next button is going to be our CV button. So what's important about CV is it's the best way to think about it is it's the distance between seeds, not necessarily are they planting singles or doubles, but are we actually changing our inner row spacing? So one thing that's important about CV is that it gives us a good sum for what's actually going on the row. Again, we get our skips and our multiples and our high and our individual rows. CV and singulation go hand in hand. They're just a different way to view the exact same data. Down at the bottom, this is actually going to give us our downforce. So as the downforce sensors here, you see that they are in the red zone, which means that the planner unit is picked up, so we're not actually applying downforce. So the downforce that we're looking for right now is 120 pounds, and we're currently just putting 1 pound down. One thing to remember is that if the planner is folded up and up in the air, our downforce will not be at our target rate. So let's say we wanted to change our target rate. We'd simply push the target, adjust up and down, and press our accept button. Once the unit goes to the ground, it will start to achieve our target. Now, one of the things we're going to see on our margins is we're actually going to see the difference between our high and our low and what's the average is on those individual sensors as listed up here. The next thing we're going to see is our ride quality sensors. One thing to remember about ride quality, what's important about ride quality agronomically is it's the percent bounce on the row. So if our down pressure is not at the correct rate and that row unit is allowed to bounce, we're actually going to see that bounce listed right here in our ride quality sensors. Ideally, for ride quality, we're looking for 100%. When the unit's sitting still and up, we're going to still see our ride quality sitting at 100%. So this is how we want them to stay. The next button we're going to see on SeedStar XP is going to be our row by row details. Gives us the ability to simply touch a row and go to that individual row, see the population, the cingulation, multiples and skips, the CV, the average inter-row spacing, the ride quality, and the downforce for that independent row. Our other option is we can simply touch the cycle button at the top, and it will simply cycle through each individual row as it goes through the unit, which is also pretty easy. Once we get done with our row details, we can also hit escape. Our next button is going to give us a good planner detail. So what's going to happen on this planner detail screen is it kind of gives you everything that we see in SeedStar XP other than your planner at a glance. This is a very good detailed screen that gives you a lot of information at once. Again, a lot of people don't like looking at this screen because it is a lot of information at once. The majority of the time when you're actually running through the field, this will be the screen you want to look at. What's ideally and most important about it is you see your target rate and you see your current population. So it's important that we're always maintaining population above anything else. When we're in corn and soybean, one thing to remember is make sure that where we are on our cingulation and where we are on our CV. For corn, CV, ideally we want to get that at a very high percentage. In our cingulation, we want that right in the middle.